Have you ever tried mixing black and white colors in the color palette? No wonder you get gray, a new color. Gray is an intermediate form between black and white that is obtained by the principle of color interactions. Similarly, can you assess how would gene interactions result in their expression? Yes. Gene interactions occur resulting in the expression of different genotypes and phenotypes. Do you know why are genes represented by a pair of alleles? Every individual has two copies of a gene received, which are said to be alleles, one from the father and the other from the mother. How can we relate Mendel's experiments with gene interactions? We cannot completely relate Mendel's experiments with gene interactions. For instance, in his dihybrid cross, he experimented with two different genes that coded for two different traits in pea plants and obtained a ratio of 9:3:3:1. But these two genes expressed themselves independently, without influencing each other. To know about gene interactions, two or more genes act simultaneously to modify the expression of another gene. With respect to the alleles of a gene, can you guess the types of gene interactions? Gene interactions can be of two types, namely, interallelic gene interactions and non-allelic gene interactions. In interallelic gene interactions, two alleles located on the same gene locus, on two homologous chromosomes, interact for a phenotypic expression. Different interallelic gene interactions include incomplete dominance, codominance, and multiple alleles. Firstly, incomplete dominance is the phenomenon in which the dominant allele does not hide or mask the effect of a recessive allele. Secondly, codominance is the phenomenon in which phenotypes of both the parents are expressed in the offspring simultaneously, meaning that both the alleles have an equal chance of expressing their effects. Thirdly, multiple alleles are three or more alleles coding for a trait. For instance, the human blood grouping system is given by the ABO blood system. The blood group is represented by three alleles, IA, IB, and IO. Here, A and B alleles are codominant, which produce respective markers, and the I allele is recessive and does not produce any marker. The possible phenotypes in this system include blood groups A, B, AB, and O. Now let us know about the second type of gene interaction, non-allelic interactions. Non-allelic interactions involve two or more independent genes, present on the same or different chromosomes interacting to produce a new expression. Different non-allelic interactions include epistasis, complementary genes, supplementary genes, duplicate genes, inhibitory genes, and lethal genes. Epistasis is the phenomenon that occurs when the presence of one gene suppresses the action of another gene at a different locus. For instance, BE codes for black, BBE code for brown. The presence of recessive gene, EE, coding for yellow suppresses the effect of BB, or BB coding for black and brown during epistasis. Complementary genes are the ones where one gene complements the expression of the other gene. The presence of dominant gene P complements the presence of another dominant gene C to express the purple color. Supplementary genes are the ones where both contribute to a single characteristic, in which one gene masks the effect of the other. Gene AA and gene BB are two dominant genes that can produce white eye in Drosophila. But the presence of supplementary gene B, along with A, masks the effect of A and produces red-eyed Drosophila. Duplicate genes are the ones where two genes have the same effect on the given trait. TT and VV are duplicate genes having the same effect on the seed shape to be triangular. Presence of any one of both the genes, T or V, code for the triangular shape of the seed. Inhibitory genes are the ones where the dominant gene called the inhibitory gene inhibits the expression of another dominant allele, situated at a different locus. Lethal genes are the ones that cause the death of the organism, in which they are present as dominant genes. Therefore, we have understood the concept of gene interactions and their types.